Hey everyone, this is RompSteel here, or the Canadian. So this game is a fun one. I was playing a game with Billy the other day, or Bhilly. I'm not sure how I should pronounce that. And he mentioned this game and told me about it briefly, and I thought it'd be a fun one to do a video on. So I know kind of what happens, but not a lot of the details anyway. So it'll be interesting to go through it when I really don't know what happens. So this is a league game, League Tier 3. So there's a lot of competition there. So that's good anyway. So Bhilly's playing Shadow. Strider656 is playing as the Free Peoples. Both with some decent cards to start off the game. Power 2 Great and File. That's a solid Terminal cards. And I mean, Monstrous Rouse isn't great, but Desperate Battle is, and Black Captain Commands is useful to have in 2 or 3 turns anyway. So Bhilly does No Eyes, man after my own heart. Well done. Rolls 2 and a decent start. At least he gets Saruman, a couple movement for the Free Peoples, decent stuff. So yeah, naturally musters Isengard down. Shocker, yeah. So he plays File. I think that makes sense. You could play Power 2 Great just to cycle for the strategy cards, but it's nice to keep it hidden too, so that Shadow gets hit with it unexpectedly at the right time. So I think that makes sense. Oh, nice. Mirror Galadriel. That's such a good card. Especially like to have early on in the game, because it's more likely that you can hurry up and kill Gandalf and bring him back next turn, right? So he moves and he's safe. Hilly shuffles along some shadow armies. He moves again and he's hit. That's a 2 reveal. So naturally he kills Gandalf and declares 2 steps towards Moria. He brings in Saruman and he does the classic army movements. And Bhilly puts an orc on top of the Fellowship outside Moria, which is a reasonable choice. Yeah, the extra odds of getting revealed into Moria is always nice. Yeah. Ryder politely asks him to get those idiots out of here. Okay, so Riders of Theoden and Day Without Dawn on Ring Wraiths. Wow, Ring Wraiths are brought in Black Captain Commands as the first 2 character cards. That's pretty cool. Okay, so he allocates 1 eye and rolls no more, but rolls a few Palantirs. So Strider rolls 2 Wills to the West, so that's nice. Turn 2 Gandalf the White's pretty huge. That'd be so funny if he somehow did have all of the nations down to war already and was able to play Day Without Dawn and mess with them on turn 2. That'd be crazy. All right, so naturally he hides the Fellowship. Okay, so he draws a character card, probably hoping for Balrog or something to damage the Fellowship with after they move. So he moves, and he's hit. That yeah, there you go. That's the reroll from the orc that gets him at the 0 reveal. So yeah, right into Moria. There he goes. And he draws an eye. So that's pretty typical. So that's good luck drawing the eye there. I think that's still like kind of a win anyway for the Fellowship. For the Shadow, because like at this point in the game, you'd still rather have that eye out of there than in there, because that makes like all the tile drawing cards, Breaking the Fellowship or Patrol Foul Thing, Isildur's Bane, that makes all of those more likely to not hit an eye. So I think this early in the game, I'm like, it's still nice to see an eye out of the bag. Obviously, it's still rather literally anything else was drawn, but it's still something anyway. Okay, so he musters Sauron to war, moves armies along. I guess that orc is just coming along for the ride to attack Lorient, probably. Yeah, he's a stalker. He's a creep. Okay, so he uses an H to muster some Nazgul. I think he's tempted to go for a corruption win, right? To do some corruption damage anyway. Yeah, because especially what with Ring Wraiths are abroad. Okay, never mind. I guess he just wanted to have enough Nazgul to actually be able to threaten Woodland Realm. So, of course, he brings in Gandalf the White, keeps moving towards the Dew Line, hides the Fellowship, and then plays Monsters Roused. Wild. I think that guy's supposed to be on Angmar, not Mount Graham, right? Yeah, Angmar at Moors and Weather Hills. We'll see if they notice it. Yeah, there it is. Mustering and Dreadful Spells. Up Hammer and Elven Rope. So then he allocates 3 eyes and rolls no more. Yeah, 3 eyes makes sense. Anyway, because you have 3 rerolls, so like you're really likely to hurt them coming out. Like I'd be a little more tempted to maybe just put in 2 or maybe just 1, but I'm a little military rush happy, so like allocating 3 is certainly a reasonable choice anyway. Okay, he musters the elves down. Billy is not thrilled with the plot here. He's moving his armies, moves the fellowship. Yeah, see, you didn't need the 3 dice, you only needed 1. You get the 6. It's a 3. Does he take the random? No, he just eats the corruption. I think I'd take a random there. You're not insane for wanting to, like, especially when you're off to a bad corruption start, it feels bad risking losing Strider because you'd really like to draw into Athelas and get that extra healing. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, nice. So he uses dreadful spells to attack Toil and kills the leadership there. I love that move. That's one of my favorites. So that's a first. I haven't seen this before. He kills the regular and leadership in Dale, and then Strider walks the regular that came from Carrick from Old Forest Road to Dale. Interesting, anyway, because this way he can, like, the Shadow player could walk into Old Forest Road and get to Woodland Realm this way, but I guess then you can't take Dale for free. Anyway, it extra works well if if King Brand's men shows up later, then I guess you're glad that you kept Dale alive and not take it anyway. Interesting. Moves a second time. I don't think I would have risked it personally, but I mean, he just rolls a 6 right away anyway, so if you had rolled that next turn, you would have got hit anyway. So it's a 1. Billy said that it wasn't reveal anyway. Yeah, which is fair. Yeah, he moves that army into Old Forest Road, and then Strider plays Power 2 Great. Actually, I'm just going to real quick undo those so we can see. Oh, no, we can't see. Darn. Okay. Oh, well. I think, so he had Day Without Dawn here, so I know he chucked that, and he already played Ring Racer Abroad. I don't remember what that other one was. Can we see it back here? Do we get to see what they picked up? Wasn't Dreadful Spells. He played that. Oh, it was Lidless Eye. That's the one he had before. Yeah, okay. So Lidless Eye and Day Without Dawn. I'm a little surprised at throwing out Day Without Dawn. I think a lot of people I've seen actually just cycling it, because I think some people don't think it's as useful as I think it is anyway. And, like, to be fair, sometimes you hang on to it for the whole game, and they never roll more than 1 Will of the West, and they just use it right away every time. So sometimes it is actually just a useless card that's taking up space in your hand. And throwing it out unseen means that they still are going to live in fear of the pressure. So I guess that's reasonable. I just really like having it for, that turn where they do roll 3 Wills of the West. It feels really good being able to, just absolutely rob the Fellowship blind while they really need to run up Mordor, and you just take away half their movement. Anyway. So Dane and Ents, and he chucks Mirror of Galadriel. I think that makes sense because you already have Gandalf, so you don't need that Will of the West. You could use it for Heroic Death, but the rest of these cards are all really good, so I think that's what I would do. Fellowship declares away for Moria, of course. Got Isildur's Bane and Return to Valinor. I think I would move first. Yeah, he moves first too, because especially just with how Billy's been playing with corruption pressure, I would want to move quick before he moves an Orc and a Nazgul down to sit on top of you for the reroll. So there you go. A safe, what do you call it? Movement. I love that they've both at different points of the game thought about going to Vent to get some elo on the Venting leaderboard. I think it's fun anyway. Okay, so we play some end cards. He does have 2 end cards, so there is a 1 in, 1 in 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. 1 in 64 chance, anyway, that he just kills Saruman right here. So, not a good start, though. 0 hits. So you can just play Elven Rope. It is also nice to just play 1 end card, especially when it's just taking up too much room in your hand. Just to maybe make the Shadow player think that's all your end cards, and then they're more likely to move out and leave Saruman unprotected. But of course, I think enough people have done that now that it's not like people are suspicious of it now too. Okay, so he attacks Lorient. Musters 1 in Woodland Realm. Puts Woodland Realm under siege. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so then he uses a ring to move again. Gets hit. 1 in reveal. And the Witch King comes in. And the Fellowship hides. Back to Woodland Realm. Yeah, I guess they're about even. Now that Power 2 Great is out of the way, and neither of them have had a card show up. Yeah, it's like equal odds of Celeborn's Galadrim or what do you call it? Three and Wheels Archer showing up. And naturally, you'd also want to do Woodland Realm first because, like, you have all this leadership here. You don't have the leadership there. And also, the sooner you finish off this army, like, if one of these two is going to show up, you'd rather they showed up in Lorient because this army, you still want it in good strength to be able to finish off the rest of Do. And also, there is Devilry of Orthanc and Durance Bane that you can play over here in Lorient. So waiting for those combat cards to show up is nice, too. Death for Battle into Daylight. That feels good as a Free Peoples. Still gets 2 hits, though. That's pretty good. 2 hits back. Presses and draws. Probably Deadly Strife. Maybe Relentless Assault. That's Relentless Assault. Okay. And there you go. There's the 3 hits. Nice. And 2 back. So, a damaged army from Woodland Realm, but at least they picked it off fast anyway, so that counts for sure. Ooh, Corsairs. Nice. Forgot to watch again. Which one did he just throw out? I don't know. Oh, well. I see got Farmers, Rangers, and Axe and Bow over there. Yeah, and there's another... Yeah, on 8 dice, only 1 attack. That feels bad. But at least there's 3 eyes in there. Like, if you're doing nothing militarily, it's at least nice that there's decent corruption pressure. Like, he's going to move once and only slightly likely be safe. If he moves a second time, he's probably getting hit anyway. So, okay, there goes the other end card. Only 1 hit, and then he plays Axe and Bow. Yeah, there we go. Remembering to take the 1 hit. Isengard. There we go. Okay, so then we play Black Captain Commands, right, and we pivot over to blow up Lorient. It's interesting that he's putting the Nazgul there, because that's kind of telling that you have Corsairs, but the Southrons are not at war yet. Although maybe, like, he has a ring and 1 muster, so maybe he's planning on mustering the Southrons to war and then playing Corsairs and trying to blow them up right now. Because especially with the Elves at war, you would rather blow up Dol Amroth earlier, and to hope that you can do it before Círdan's ship shows up, or Emerhill. So, anyway. Okay, so we're doing Lorient, Deadly Strife at the Shield Wall. 5 hits, there you go. That helps. 3 hits back. Good thing there's a Shield Wall. That would have been just Lorient in 1 shot. So they press in, no card. Billy gets his 6. Yeah, a rough day for the Elves, for sure. That certainly motivates the Fellowship to keep moving. They get hit on the first one. Use Axe and Bow to eat that corruption. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but there's like construction going on outside. So if you hear some weird, loud, banging, rumbling sounds, that's what that is. Sorry about that. Hope you can hear me easily over top of them. Okay, Fellowship hides. Makes sense. And he does use the ring to muster the Southrons to war. Fellowship moves again, gets very hit. Oh my goodness, are you kidding? That's so bad. They rolled 5, 6, 6. So on the second movement, that's 3 hits, and then draws an eye. So that's actually 3 damage. Oof. Takes random and it's Mary. I get it, but that's a little bit scary. And yet, what are you going to do? Kill Strider on purpose? That doesn't feel good. So anyway, it really feels bad being up to 7 corruption when you're not in Mordor and you have a bunch of companions, because you're kind of inviting the Shadow player to dunk a bunch of eyes in there and maybe kill you by corruption anyway. As Bhilly, I'd certainly be tempted to play Breaking right now because, there's those 3s and 2s there, and now that a Hobbit's out of the way, those 2s count for 3 and those 3s count for 5. So I'd be tempted anyway. But he goes full steam ahead military, which is also an entirely reasonable choice. And he hides the Fellowship, and we attack Dol Amroth. Great Host, that helps. Billy rolls 1 hit, Strider rolls 1 hit. That makes sense. Press no card, and he gets his 1/6. But yeah, there we go. I wonder if they're going to remember to kill this regular and leader in Lorient. It's funny the little things that you miss in game that it looks funny watching it as a replay. But like obviously I miss stuff like that all the time too. Anyway, so there's a glorious roll. 5 Palantirs, a muster, and an army movement. So 2 movement. That's great for the free peoples. That should hopefully get them in this turn. You're actually that's a little bit scary as the free peoples looking at all these Palantirs, because that makes it very likely he's going to be able to cycle into cruel weather this turn. So if you don't get revealed on that first movement, you're going to be really kicking yourself wondering, should I move a second time? Yeah. Anyway, life is hard. So he moves right away, which makes sense. You want to move before you get hit with rerolls. Yeah, so he moves and he's safe. He plays a red tile, which makes sense. You don't want to play Sealder's Bane yet. I think you want to save that for if the Fellowship doesn't move again and it's your last die of the turn, then you want to play Sealder's Bane. Because if you hit, and this time there's only 1 tile that would do it, but if you did draw the 0 reveal and reveal them in, then they don't have to worry about cruel weather anymore. Also, sorry if I sound a bit stuffy, still recovering from a cold here. Okay, so Strider picks up a card, last battle. And Billy starts cycling character cards, which I think makes sense. This is a perfect opportunity for cruel weather. So he draws the last end card. Let's see if the third end card could do anything better. So now he plays the Sealder's Bane, which, to be fair, yes, it would be a shame to reveal him now and remove that cruel weather pressure, but you're more likely not going to reveal him. It's only 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So certainly a reasonable choice. But he draws an eye, so that sucks. Yeah, that feels bad. It definitely feels better doing that before they get into Mordor than after, though. Yeah, just that would suck. And then he plays Palantir. Because playing that, he doesn't have a ring either, so he's conceding that he doesn't have cruel weather. Whereas if you saved that to be the last die you played this turn, then you would be, then you'd be threatening cruel weather, so you might pressure your opponent into moving another time. So I think that's... I think you should have done it the other way, but that's okay. Okay, so he musters up an Isengard. Then he separates some companions. Interesting. I guess he's trying to avoid the strong eye dunking of being in Mordor, and also hoping to hold out militarily a bit longer. Because Billy is already at 6 points between Woodland Realm, Lorient, Dol Amroth. But he isn't that close to his next 4 points, though, Excuse me. So, because he's been plagued with all these Palantirs and not movement. Anyway. Okay, so he starts moving armies towards Helm's Deep and Minas Tirith. Okay, so of course he declares into Mordor, and he picks up Mithril Coat. That's nice. And he chucks Thranduil and Fearfire Foes. And he rolls another 4 Palantirs, which is better now than if... No, never. Oh, no, right. It's better now that he has Palantir Vorthek on the board, but I think that makes it a pretty obvious play for Strider, since he rolled a Will of the West, to just cancel that. To take out the Palantir right away. Yeah. So, as Bailey is complaining, let's take a look at those statistics. Yeah, plus 12 on Palantir, so he's rolled 20 Palantirs total, and only 15 attacks total, so that's pretty funny so far. So he brings in the Mouth, of course. And now he plays Ents, gets 2 hits, and then Mithril Coat, which is a little bit risky in case he plays Worn with Sorrow and Toil. Then you kind of have to use Mithril Coat right away and not take a casualty. But, at the same time, he doesn't have Worn with Sorrow and Toil, so it's useful for him for sure. All 1, that's a perfectly pleasant draw. So let's take a look at that pool. Yeah, so there's only 1 red tile and a couple blue tiles in there. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what he does. He picks up a character card. Now he picks up Cool Weather. That's just so typical, picking up Cool Weather the turn after Fellowship gets into Mordor. It's just classic. Yeah, he picks it up and just immediately chucks it again. Okay, so Strider uses a ring to move again. It's a 3. Also a pretty pleasant roll. I think losing Strider makes sense. Like, it feels bad not having his ability anymore, but at the same time, like, if you take a random and it's a Hobbit, then you're up to 10 corruption, and you're just asking to get murdered by candles or a Sealder. So, well, not a Sealder. A Sealder already came and went. Okay, so armies keep moving. Using the Mouth of Sauron to also keep moving. And he plays Eomer. Back Helm Deep. There we go. Now we've killed the Elf and Lorient. So he draws a card. It's Orc Patrol. And then he plays Orc Patrol and File of Galadriel. So at least he gets it out of the way. That's... I was thinking about using Mithril Coat. I don't think I would. Like, it feels bad losing File of Galadriel, but at the same time, do you really want him to draw something else just in case you might draw File? Like, it's pretty low odds that you're going to draw it in the next 3 draws. And having Mithril Coat to dodge a red tile or an eye when it's going to do a ton of damage, like, I think I don't think it's the right call to use it there. But okay. I guess he did also want to, hurry up and get down to Gollum to try to dodge Candle, so I guess there's some reasoning there. Okay, so now there's Worm with Sword and Toil. It was actually a brilliant predictive move on his part, because he knew that Billy was about to pick up Worm with Sword and Toil, so he thought he should use it quick before he had to. I said he picks up there. It's another way. That's huge. Okay, so he puts in 2 eyes this time and then rolls 3 more. So that's, I guess, to be fair, another thought to that I hadn't appreciated is that the amount of eyes in the pool was pretty high, right? So there was a 2 in here. So the odds of, after File was out, the odds of drawing an eye was 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, it was 40% odds of drawing an eye, so that's not bad. And drawing, again, the 2s or 3s is good too, because he wanted to get rid of Legolas and I hurry up and get down to Gollum, right? So it's not insane anyway. So there's a 3. So that feels amazing. Yeah. Gets just right down to Gollum. Okay. Here comes the Isengard troops, though. Yeah, that feels bad. Getting no hits and landing 2. He stays, which I think makes sense. Like, you could retreat to Fangorn, Gap, or Druid. Actually, I think I might retreat to Fangorn just to threaten retaking Lorien. Like, if you roll a couple H's next turn, you might actually be able to do that. But staying too weak at this... Staying too weak at this army is reasonable, though. Nice advantageous position into Desperate Battle. Only 1 hit, so that feels bad. 1 hit back. Yeah, that's a frustrating game for sure right there. Strider was supposed to take a hit. Wasn't he? Yeah, he was, because he played Desperate Battle against advantageous position. Oh, well. We all miss things sometimes. So he actually shouldn't have rolled that 3rd die there. It should have been, that was his first roll. That is his leader reroll. So anyway, so if it comes down to the difference of 1 orc anyway, then they'll be very sad. I have a hunch that's not going to be what decides the game anyway. Yeah. It's easy for turn order to get confused sometimes. So Billy wanted to take Edoras naturally. But of course it's Billy's turn, so he plays... so he musters in Edoras just to slow him down from getting those last couple points, because if he gets Helm's Deep, Edoras, Polar Gear, then that's his last 4 points to win. So that makes sense. Okay, so he just bundles up in Helm's Deep instead. Plays House of the Stewards. Oh yeah, that's nice. Get those... get to draw those strategy cards for defending in Helm's Deep. plays Olog High. Yeah, so especially with There Is Another Way in hand, you're feeling decent about being able to finish next turn, and you have a ring. So, like, if you have a terrible roll and it's just all musters and hybrids, then you lose. But if you have even one Palantir and one movement, then you're looking pretty good. Anyway. But yeah, obviously Strider doesn't want to move because it's 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 4 odds that he just dies, 1 that he hits a red tile, 4 that are okay. So anyway, yeah, that'd be very risky to move again right now. Anyway, especially when you don't think that the bad guys are going to win right now. Okay, so here comes Grond, Flocks of Krebine. He just rolls 4 hits. Yep, that's a good start. That's a very good start. Only 1 hit back. Yeah, that's very good stuff. Rolls 2 more 6s, just easy. Man, the military, when he does get there, it goes great. He just blows everything up. But the dice have just not let him get there at all. Yeah. The armies of Minas Tirith hide from nothing in particular, but they hide well. I see. Okay, so Gandalf is coming down to join them in Minas Tirith, so thinking about coming out to fight for Pelargir or fight for Edoras, maybe. Okay, so use the mouth to move forward. Oh, yeah. The plan is 2 points from these 3 cities, which is extremely doable. Like, he needs 2 attacks. Like, this army isn't really strong enough to fight either one of these, and the dwarves aren't at war, so, like, Dale is guaranteed, and this army can only fight for one of them and probably lose that fight anyway. So yeah, very good play by Billy. Oh, I'm also just realizing when Billy played Palantir earlier, and I said it wasn't great, he might have also just been trying to bait out a ring. That's a thing, too. But still, threatening cruel weather is good. Anyway. Okay, we get Rage and Lure. Lure of the Ring is always great to see. Shelob is good too. Okay, so he rolls 2 more eyes. Obviously happy to see those eyes. Because you could get the military win for sure. The question is, will the Fellowship survive or not? So naturally, since he has no other character cards to help, and he needs to win this turn, he leads with There Is Another Way and moves, and it's an eye. So that's 3 damage, so that hurts for sure. I would expect him to play Lure of the Ring now. Yeah, and takes damage. Yeah, good thing. Yeah, There's Another Way, or he'd be dead right now. Yeah. So he hides again because, he has breaking. So if he does get, stopped and revealed, then Billy can just kill him. So naturally, he'll chuck Shelob in there. So yeah, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3 where he wins, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 where he loses. So it's was a good start in Mordor, but yeah, things have gone a bit worse since then. So right, I think drawing a card makes sense here because you could still play it with the character die and then move with the ring, and the shadow player only has 1 character card left and 1 die to play it with. So it's unlikely anyway that that's also something. If you were remembering cards well enough, like he had character card. He's had at least 1 character card in his hand for a while. So he draws a card, but it's just Challenge of the King, so that's useless. So he attacks Edoras with the character die, which I think is a bit of a mistake, because what if Gollum does move? To be fair, there is only 1 tiny scenario where this is a chance, and funnily enough, this is what happened when I was playing Billy yesterday. If he moved and hit Shelob and rolled a 1, so he bounced back and was revealed, then you would want to have that character die so that you could kill him with breaking. Granted, that's very unlikely, but that's literally exactly what happened in a game with Billy yesterday. He had the Fellowship, was on step 4, at 11 Corruption with Gollum, moved, hit Shelob, rolled a 1, and bounced back and revealed. So anyway, it can happen, is all I'm saying. So he attacks Edoras. Edoras scouts away. Because, yeah, lol, why not? And the Fellowship moves, and it's the 3. So that's the end of the game. Yeah, no, I thought both the players played pretty great. I was interested in it because he told me that he had a game where he rolled more Palantirs than all of his attacks put together. And he did. He rolled 24 Palantirs, so plus 13, and only 12 plus 5 plus 3, so that's 20 attacks. So, so that's pretty funny. Granted, the military went shockingly well, considering how few attacks there were. Like, every stronghold just crumpled really fast, you know? Oh, yeah. So now they're asking the question. If he had Mithril and he'd drawn it, then it would have been Shelob. Yeah, okay, so he probably would have been done anyway. Yeah. So, yeah. That's kind of that's how it rolls with Palantirs. Like, you can only do what the cards let you do, right? But you can still accelerate military for sure. You could play Corsairs, Grand, Ring Racer Abroad, cards like that. But using Palantirs to cycle corruption cards to do corruption plays is can also be pretty powerful. So. Yeah. But as he points out, like, if he had just got a reasonable amount of attacks, this would have been over a lot faster. Because every siege just, rolled sixes and had good cards, it just blew up. Like, that's really fast. Anyway, good games. Thanks to both Bhilly and Strider for letting me make a video on this one. I thought it was a great game. Yep. Thanks. See y'all next time.